Hello, my name is Katie French and I did my natural environmental final project on the Grand Coulee Dam. So this is a photo of the dam, which you can see up close with the PowerPoint that I will link in the description. So some basic facts about the Grand Coulee Dam. It is located in Grand Coulee, Washington State in the United States, and it is located on the Columbia River. The reservoir that is created by the dam is called the FDR Lake, which is named after President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who is the president who oversaw the creation of the dam. The history and construction of the Grand Coulee Dam: it is a gravity type, which means that a lot of the way that it works is through the amount of weight that is pushing down on it, which we will get into more later. It was constructed between 1933 and 1942, 1942 being its final completion, and it cost $300 million at the time to construct fully, and it used 12 million cubic yards of concrete, which is quite a lot of concrete. So there were a lot of challenges that were faced during the construction of this dam, mostly because of the massive amount of concrete that was used. Because they use so much concrete when it is laid in thick amounts and really dense, it produces a lot of heat, which can cause the concrete to shrink. And when concrete is shrinking and it is uncontrolled, then there are a lot of cracks. And of course, when there's cracks in a dam, that is going to impact its effectiveness. So, a solution that they made for this problem with cracking was that while the dam was being constructed, they pumped cold water in there to keep it from getting overheated and from shrinking and cracking too much. So some forces that are on the dam: because it is a gravity type, the weight is very important, because the water is pushing against the dam, which causes a lot of pressure, and it can cause a dam to fall over. But because a gravity dam is very dense and has a lot of weight to it, the amount of weight that is pushing down into the ground prevents the dam from toppling over, and that is how a gravity dam works, and that is the functioning of the Grand Coulee Dam. So there are a lot of importances about the Grand Coulee Dam. It is the biggest hydroelectric power producer in the United States, and it produces about 23,860,944,469 kilowatt hours a year. And this really impacts the Northwest United States, which there are a lot of larger cities such as Seattle and Portland, so a lot of their hydroelectric power is dependent on the Grand Coulee Dam. It is also used for flood control and irrigation, which is very helpful for the farms in the Northwest so that they can get the proper amount of water, but it also helps the towns nearby so that there isn't too much flooding damage. It also has increased the natural wetlands around the area and has also provided for more recreation. However, there are some consequences with the building of the Grand Coulee Dam. The salmon spawning, because the salmon have not been able to reach upstream because the dam is in their way, their spawning has been decreased, and as such their population has also decreased. In addition, because of the flooding of the area that was created during the Grand Coulee Dam, there is less habitat for animals such as burrowing owls and mule deer, which has also decreased their populations as well. The biggest people group that this is affecting is the local Native American tribes, because a lot of their food source depends on the local animals, and also there are some traditions that have to do with certain species of salmon that are spawning, so that has also been impacted. And it has also caused the relocation of about 3,000 Native American individuals. So, the stakeholders that are benefiting in the creation and maintaining of the Grand Coulee Dam, the first group are the irrigators and the farmers, because there is a lot more water that is being created and sustained in the area, so there is more to be used for farming. The recreators, because the creation of a bigger lake allows for more recreation, such as boats and tubing and stuff in the lake itself. The US Northwest in general, because it gains a lot of its hydroelectric power from the plant that is connected to the Grand Coulee Dam, and this obviously affects, again, some big cities like Seattle and Portland that are impacted and are positively reaping the benefits from the dam. And also the local towns surrounding the dam, because of the creation of more wetlands, which is positively impacting their environment, and because there's just generally more water to use. So those who are sacrificing the most are the local Native American tribes, mostly because, again, they have land taken from them and they are forced to relocate, and because there's less food supply due to the decrease in the natural wildlife because on the Columbia River because of the dam, and it is ultimately harming their traditions and their way of life that they've been living for centuries now. So my recommendation and my decision in regards to the Coulee Dam is just to keep the dam the way it is, because so many people are relying on it. There are so many farmers that are benefiting from it and would probably suffer from the removal or any sort of downsizing of the dam. And so many people do live in the Northwest US, and their lives would be very different without the Grand Coulee Dam powering so many of their things. So there are generally just a great amount of benefits for the Coulee Dam. And for the Native American tribes who are suffering from the creation of the dam, we will do our best to reimburse them with providing them free open land in other areas, and hopefully they will be able to thrive in other wetlands that are close to the area but aren't within the dam itself. These are the resources that I used for my project, and that's the end. Thank you for watching.